In the previous video, we learned about law of conservation of linear momentum. In the same way, law of conservation of kinetic energy. But in this video, we are going to learn about the types of collisions, and there are 4 types of collisions. In this first one is elastic collision. Second one is inelastic collision. Third one is head-on collision. And fourth one is oblique collision. So we can learn about these 4 collisions now. First, elastic collision. The collision in which both law of conservation of linear momentum and law of conservation of kinetic energy are valid is called as elastic collision. But in inelastic collision, whenever coming to inelastic collision, the law of conservation of linear momentum is valid, whereas law of conservation of kinetic energy is invalid. So we can differentiate between elastic and inelastic basing upon law of conservation of linear momentum and law of conservation of kinetic energy. Third one, head-on collision. Head-on collision is also called as one-dimensional collision. So what is head-on collision is, after collision, if both particles move in same direction, then this is called as head-on collision. Whereas oblique collision is also called as 2D collision. If after the collision, if both objects move in different directions, then that collision is said to be oblique collision. Impulse. So if more force is applied at short interval of time, then it is called impulse. Impulse is represented by the letter J. So J is equal to final momentum minus initial momentum. So simply impulse can be said as the change in momentum before and after collision. But when we are saying the definition, we always say that more force is applied at short interval of time. So that is called as impulse. Applications of impulse in daily life. So the first application is when we are playing cricket, the fielder catches the ball. When he catches the ball with more force, here the force is more, but it acts in short interval of time. So this is said to be an application of impulse. And second application is during accidents. During accidents also impulse is acted. For example, let us consider a car is moving in this direction. In the same way, a bike is moving in this direction. When both collide, so a collision occurs. When both collide with more force, so as they are collided with more force, here the deformation occurs. I said you during the collision that deformation means change in shape. So here more force acts, but the accidents occurs in very short interval of time. Like for example 0.001 seconds. So like this. So negligible time. In negligible interval of time the accidents occurs. So it is said to be an example for impulse. So these are the 2 examples of impulse in daily life. In many situations you can see impulse. It is a question regarding impulse. A ball of mass 2 kg. So mass is equal to 2 kg. Moves with velocity 2 meter per second. So initially the velocity is 2 meter per second. After collision it moves with 5 meter per second. So it is the final velocity is equal to 5 meter per second. So now impulse. You have to find impulse. Generally impulse is represented by the letter J is equal to mv minus mu. Whenever in the question they given, if the mass of the object is changed, we will consider like this. But here mass is not changed. So m into v minus u. So J is equal to m. Mass is given as 2. 2 into v minus u. 5 minus 2. So J is equal to 6 kg meter per second. So this is the impulse acting on this body. And see here the units. Mass into velocity. So mass is represented by kg and velocity is represented by mass per meter per second. So for impulse the units are kg into meter per second. Thanks for watching my video.